Welcome to the land of long live play, where greatness is always awaiting. Welcome to the PlayStation Experience. I am one of your hosts, the greatest podcast of all time, the GOAT, Delvin Cox. With me, as always, is the Platinum Princess herself, Miss Haley Nicole Miller. And also with us is our Lord and Savior, Lord Snurts. That was perfect. How you guys doing? Welcome back. We're back. PlayStation guys, we're back. Y'all wanted us back. I don't know why, but we're here.
Cat Williams, huh?
That's my G.
The pimp name Slickback.
Yeah, what
all he had to do was mention Ludacris once, and that motherfucker went straight back into the recording studio, huh?
Goddamn right. He needs to do that more often. Just mention Ludacris all the time. That's what I need to happen. Just keep mentioning Ludacris so he keeps rapping. That's what I want.
What's it been, like 20 years since Ludacris was in the studio?
Ludacris been getting that Fast and Furious money.
That's
said, fuck
exactly
this.
what I was going to say. Yep. He's too fast, too furious for that shit.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't at all. So I guess let's go. Let's start with Haley first. Haley, how's your hiatus time been? Have you enjoyed your time not podcasting and all that good stuff?
I had far too many days off in a row, dude. 19 days off from work. Nobody wants to do inventory right before Christmas, so December 15th was my last shift before Christmas. I worked for like 4 hours on the 29th, and then I went back to work on Tuesday.
No money for you, in other words.
Yeah.
Correct, dude. I got paid on Thursday, and it was like $100.
Yeah, see, that's the whole downside. If you had paid time off during that whole period, you could, like, still live your life fully. So that's
that was, I got paid on Thursday. It was $100 fucking.
Yeah.
Haley's job was like, fuck that. You don't need to live like life.
It's only like $40 in Canadian money, right? Like, just
$12.80 in Canadian money.
And then so like it's busy now, right? Like I had a day off on Wednesday after working. I had the day off on Wednesday after working on the 2nd, just because nothing ran. But then I worked at Treasure Hunt, which is where Walmart sends all their like damaged product.
Sound like a made up place.
It should be a made up place. It's terrible, dude. I went to Treasure Hunt on the Thursday of this week. Friday I worked at American Eagle. Saturday was Treasure Hunt, and today was Home Hardware, which is a hardware store. And then
do you have a preference of those three? Like where
do you get your wood from?
I'd rather count shovels than shirts,
I would literally rather count clothing than a hardware store, because when you go to the hardware store, your hands end up really dirty.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Touching all that wood, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, Delvin. I think everybody got what you were saying the first time you made that joke about where you get your wood.
That's where I made it again, baby.
That's how things become a classic. You just keep repeating it.
Keep repeating it, baby, until it hits.
This coming week, I have 2 Toys R Us.
That's gonna be fun.
Nice.
And then and then I have a suit store on Saturday night. So
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, best of luck
I'm glad to
with
be
the,
back at
inventory
work.
rush. Best of
Yeah.
luck though with the rush. Yeah.
What I've watched, just because I know Donnie's here, so I gotta say it, right? Over the break, I watched the Doctor Who Christmas special, which had Shuti Gatwa's first appearance as the Doctor. Shuti Gatwa?
That definitely sounds like a made up name.
Well, I mean, you have people thinking it's made up because here's how it's spelled: Ncuti, but it's pronounced Shooty, as in Shooty.
Well,
Oh, no.
I will
No,
say
no,
this. It's better than that football player's name I saw. Lord, I'm not saying it on here. His first name's Noah. That's all I will say.
Oh,
Bagels?
okay.
His last name a little wild.
It's not Noah's Ark. It's not Noah's Bagels. I get you. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to know.
but-
Some things are best left,
Yeah.
unheard.
In the last 60th anniversary special, the Doctor regenerated, which for anyone unfamiliar, it's when a new actor takes on the role. So they had a bit of an appearance in that, but this was their first full episode as the Doctor. It was very good. And now there's no new episodes until May. So that sucks. But I've also been watching Reacher season 2, which is very good.
Oh yeah.
Love that show. There was a joke in the most recent episode that's like, I think you'd like a first-person shooter. And he responded with, I am a first-person shooter.
That guy's built too, man. What a that guy would scare me if I had to throw down. I'd be like, "You're gonna kill me."
He is a big dude.
He's very big. In like the first episode of this season, he kicks a car and the airbag goes off.
Yeah. I personally haven't seen it, but friends of mine, they won't shut up about it. They're like, "Reacher this and Reacher that." So eventually I'm gonna have to try it out.
The show is so good. I bought the first book. It's up over there on my nightstand.
Very cool. Yeah,
So-
it seems like my kind of show. Kick ass and take names.
Oh
it
yeah.
seems fun.
I definitely think you would enjoy it. Okay. Yeah, I understand why you won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't say that here. Other than that, I got gifted some shows on iTunes, so I own
That's
all
good.
of The Walking Dead. I own all of The Walking Dead on iTunes now.
I can't wait for Negan to show up in season 4.
Yeah, the funny part is that occasionally I'll go check Delvin's trophies, and I know that he still hasn't beat that game. So
Why would I?
because you said you were gonna. That's
I am. I didn't say when. 2028.
No, that's about all I watched. And then over the break, I played a lot, really. Played some Cyberpunk, played some Baldur's Gate, played some God of War, which we'll get to later, just because or we could get to it now because we do have a question about it. What do you want, Delvin?
We can get to it later. We'll get to it when we get to the question, I guess.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. And then I also played like a couple of remasters here and there. And I tried Final Fantasy, but then I didn't have the bandwidth for it, so it's back at the library.
Hold on, what Final Fantasy? 16?
Yeah. 16. I got like 2 hours in, and I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Sounds about right. That's usually what I say about Final Fantasy. What the fuck is happening? Yeah.
Yeah. I platinumed Alan Wake too, though. So
Why?
As you do.
Well, you are the Platinum Princess, so yeah, that makes sense.
yes, but what do you mean why?
Seems like a lot of work, Haley. You could be doing other things.
It
too.
wasn't though. When I rolled credits, I had the platinum.
That's not bad if you could just do it in one playthrough.
Well,
I was following a collectible guide, but I still did it in one playthrough. Like,
Still counts. Guides are fine.
like I literally because the only collectibles you need are you only really need a couple collectibles as Alan. The rest are all through Saga. So
The better player, Saga. Yeah.
I just found out what private chat is, and oh my goodness, yes. Thank you for sharing, Delvin, in the private chat.
Yeah.
I saw this little bubble
Yeah.
pop up. I'm still getting used to the interface here, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. Now you see why I couldn't say that on the show.
I mean,
I can't even think
technically,
that.
you could
okay.
you could say it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
out of all the
Must
three
know.
of us, like no.
yeah, no. What?
Yeah.
Donnie,
Donnie,
you do not.
Donnie can get the link from Delvin if he really wants to. It's not that.
Donnie definitely knows this player's name. He watches.
Yeah.
He watches football, so he knows this college player's name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, in Baldur's Gate, I haven't really made much progress lately. Where are you, Snurts? Because I don't want to spoil anything for you.
I am in Act 3 in the middle of Baldur's Gate Madness. I do not really know where I'm at in the grand scheme of things because I always think I'm getting somewhere, and it's like, oh, there's all this new stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
my,
right.
my point is
Because-
that the point that I made it to, I'm playing as Dark Urge, so like there's specific stuff that gets revealed.
Okay.
I have not left Worms Crossing, so
Yeah, I am wandering around Baldur's Gate proper, the city right now,
Okay.
and I just finished a very cool quest line with one of our companions.
which one?
The Twink Vampire, Astral.
Oh.
Astarion, yes.
Saurian.
Yeah.
The one name I didn't write down because he's not on my bang list. So anyway, but yeah,
Hold on. You're like Twink vampires? That's
but not for
Oh,
this
yeah.
playthrough. I'm not feeling it.
okay.
Yeah.
You're not feeling
Yeah.
Quick Vampire
No,
in
not-
this
Yeah.
playthrough. but
Maybe
you
not
could
the
feel
playthrough.
later.
Yeah, we'll see. Mix it
Yeah.
up.
Um,
yeah,
he
I-
has to earn your love. I get it.
I'm in. Yes, very much so. I'm in Act 3, and for this playthrough, it's like 95 hours in. And yeah, I also get just distracted so much by that game.
Yep.
I love it all the time, but like I feel like some days like I just run around in circles and I just find new quests, and I don't get further along any of the quest lines, and it's just kind of like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? Like there was something that was relevant to Shadowheart where you find the House of Grief, and
Yep.
I went into that. And I realized what I was getting into, and I was like, "Nope, reload, old save."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what, like, House of Grief is one of the places I need to get to because I know that's before you actually get to Baldur's Gate proper.
So
sounds
maybe
like a
I'm not
wrestling
even in
faction.
Baldur's Gate proper yet. Maybe I'm just on the outskirts. See, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's cities, there's streets, there's cobblestone.
Yeah, I know. I started playing again today, and literally all I ended up doing was talking to Minthara for like 30 minutes.
Yeah. See,
Because remember, I started over after they updated the
Sure.
game to allow you to have Minthara on a good character, so you don't have to like slaughter a bunch of people to get her.
and that's
I was
the,
literally just talking to her and asking her questions.
the Drow, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't met him
So-
yet.
Yeah, I know you haven't because as Dev in the chat goes, has Delvin made any progress in Baldur's Gate 3? I still don't believe he'll play it.
I was playing it, but I haven't
Yeah.
played it as of lately because I beat Tears of the Kingdom. So now I'm trying to get through Alan Wake. Because I know once I start back in Baldur's Gate 3, that is going to be my Tears of the Kingdom playing all year game. Then at the end of the year, like, God damn, I ain't playing the games.
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
I mean, I'm almost
Yeah.
thinking I gotta like break my rule of one game at a time and like have a side hustle.
Yeah, you got to have a side
You
chick.
know,
Side chick
it's,
game.
it's kind of
Yeah.
like especially with the Evil West becoming free, and
Yeah, I was about to ask, did you get to play any of that?
it's downloaded, ready to go. But to prepare for today, and because I saw our question, and we're going to talk about it later. Obviously, God of War Valhalla was the other thing that I played besides Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing I really played was I downloaded Saints Row the Third, like the
Oh.
remaster.
Okay.
Sure.
Wow, that game does not look great on PS5.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It's an older game, and
It is. It's very, yeah.
It was never
plays
polished to
fine.
begin with, you know.
I mean, yeah, it plays
Snurts,
fine.
did you work on that game too? Because I know you're gonna like, oh, I worked on that game for several years. No, you.
Yeah, no. I only worked on the 3 games, but yeah, you can still blame me for those 3 games, but not unless we want to make it a running bit where it's like anytime it's a terrible game, Snurts had to be like at least QA lead,
Yes.
maybe manager, maybe head of QA. Yeah,
Yes, that's
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
we can blame you for the Walking Dead death.
well, yeah,
That's
correct.
a goddamn lie. We can't. I can blame
Yeah.
Snurts anything for anything I want to blame Snurts for.
You know,
I told you that game was going to be terrible, and you still bought it.
Yeah, I know. That's called being me. I don't
Speaking of my
learn lessons.
testing days, though, I do have a bug of the episode, and it does involve Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
So
boy,
I,
what'd you get?
I was over at a vendor whose cheek proceeded to go through to the wall, and then if I turned the camera to a certain angle, there was a hole in his cheek, and you could see the teeth and the jaw. So it was like this stream of pixelated, image that was extending his cheek all the way to the wall.
Oh,
And it wouldn't go away. I reloaded it. I went back in and back out, and it was still there. And he had like this, he looked like some kind of undead zombie, so to speak.
sound like a friend of
that's-
mine I know who's been shot in the mouth.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. It looks like.
I'm
was shot in
sorry,
the
you
mouth,
want to
for sure.
explain that one?
I know someone who was shot in the mouth and he had the whole thing on his mouth.
Yeah.
Jody B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy was rocking Skeletor type of look, and whatnot, or maybe Jonah Hex is a better example.
That is a better example.
Jonah, I mean, they both work, but
The,
Yeah.
the only people who know who Jonah Hex is are on this podcast, right now.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He
Yeah.
was in some
I
decent
guarantee
animated
you-
stuff. Really?
I guarantee you, no one watching this podcast knows
Yeah.
who Jonah Hex is.
Nobody in the
big guy,
chat is
zombie
going to know
guy.
who Jonah Hex is.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Dropping down the
Yeah.
references, folks. Look them up.
Okay.
Cam, you're lying your ass off.
You're lying. I promise you, you're lying. No, I had a good break, but I always miss podcasting with you. So
Aw.
She missed podcast with you, Snurts. See, there you go.
Delvin, we know that wasn't directed at me.
That was 100% towards you. So Snurts, how's your vacation been? So, should we just we'll announce it now. Snurts is gonna be the new third chair on PSXP. Congratulations to Snurts.
Woo, woo. Thank you. It must have been a very short list, and I appreciate the competition.
No, I just got lazy. It was like, I don't feel like. I was like, the regular. Does he show up? Yeah, he shows up.
Oh, cool. Yeah. They do say showing up is 90% of the job, right?
Yeah, he's like, he shows up.
yeah,
He's a body.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does Haley
Hey,
like him? There you go. All right, that's good enough.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear it's official. I wasn't going to ask until like February or something like that because I thought.
Oh, Black History Month? If you have Black History Month, I would have definitely told you no.
Oh, really?
No, absolutely not.
Shit, so I got to wait till March. Okay, I'll wait till the Ides of March.
Yeah, like,
Nah.
nah,
I guess I
Hey,
can't
hey.
ask Delvin questions during February. I'll keep that in mind.
that's correct.
Good times.
That is
He
correct.
shows up. He has a pulse. He's in.
He's it. Yep, that's
in.
how it works.
Man, this internet connection is making my podcast career. I can tell you.
Yeah,
that.
he has good, decent internet. Let's go,
Yeah.
Snurts. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. I'm also a pro. I plug in the landline. I don't do this Wi-Fi nonsense.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
there
none
you
of
go.
us do that. The only time I was doing Wi-Fi was when I was on the Chromebook. But then again,
Yeah, that's a whole
just to
different setup,
reiterate,
though.
but we discovered again that the whole issue wasn't my computer; it's my webcam. Which, if I don't disable the sound component on the webcam, it crashes my entire audio system.
Oh, that was one of the issues, Haley. What was the other issue, Haley? Well, like you had Visine all over your goddamn lips
Oh, yeah.
for
we talked about
years.
that.
For years. We have to tell the PSXP audience the ridiculousness of this shit. For years. Years.
If you go back and look at our first video one, there's like tape on my fucking.
For
That's what I love
years, Snurts.
And
Years.
And like the tape was clear and it was like perfectly cut around the, like lens,
I did
right?
peel off the plastic, Dev, when I
That-
got it from Donnie. I don't know where the tape came from, but it was there.
She had this film on her lens for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Oh, hey guys, I don't know what's wrong with the camera. I don't get it.
We're like, are you high-headed? We just see this fog in her room all the time.
I was hanging out with you. Oh, come on now.
Just for this was for years, nerds.
I understand.
We
yeah,
never
I've seen
knew
the
what it
videos.
was.
I've been a fan of the podcast.
Oh.
Now I've only started recently watching the YouTube stuff because I am a more audio than video individual when it comes to these lovely shows on the PSVG network. But yeah, no, I just
He
thought
likes
it
the
was,
vocal.
I thought it was
He likes
just,
that. He likes to see what that mouth do.
yeah. I like it. I like it. Man, you guys are feisty today. that was last so hard as screen froze.
Oh man.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, it's because I do other things, chores, work, whatever, and podcasts are always my companion.
Yeah, I listen to most
but yeah,
podcasts, that way as well.
Yep.
Without the video, because I listen to them at work. So
yeah, I also have a bad habit of listening to PSVG on the YouTube while playing Baldur's Gate 3, and then I miss like 2 hours of the episode, and I might only catch the highlights, and then you guys will be like, "Oh, you heard this on the other episode?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure, yeah, of course, yes, that was the thing that happened."
Yes. Oh, man.
But yeah, thanks for bringing me on. This has been a goal of mine to do podcasting in one form or the other. And if I could do a passion of mine with two people that I enjoy talking to, I think that's just awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Great having you on. Great having someone on to add to the flavor of the show. Got to give us a little bit more energy. I'm happy for it. It's great. Love it.
yeah. Let me also point out for the audience at home who are who Delvin and I somehow have matching T-shirts.
Cool.
I don't know how that happened. Well, yeah, our T-shirts are dating apparently because I have Miles.
Oh yeah,
and
Miles.
she has
Oh wow.
Spider-Gwen.
Oh wow.
I have Brian.
I could get a Spider-Man hoodie. Try to, but
I mean,
You're not
I also
my dad's
have
nerds.
I also have an Assassin's
it's
Creed
Peter
hoodie
Parker.
on right
It's
now,
not. It's
so-
not my. So I'm not copying you, Delvin. Anyway. Cool. Into the PlayStation verse. Here we go.
There we go.
So what have you been the audience? Donnie.
Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
Hey, Dev's there too. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's more focused on helping Indie Techno fix his computer. Good on Dev for that saga. That was a fun saga.
Nah.
All right. Yeah. Break time though. Yeah, I am very lucky, and my employer gives me the time between Christmas and New Year's off paid. So I took an extra week to work remote and visit my mom in McKinleyville, California, which is up north. I also got to see my middle sister Tessa as well, who is a chef by training. She's
Wow.
going back to school doing other mad scientist stuff now, but I love her cooking. And when you have a professional chef just cooking up a storm for Christmas, life could be worse. And we're also a bunch of stoners, and we're in Humboldt, so things
Making
could
those
be a
weed
hell of a lot worse. I did have PlayStation withdrawal because I don't bring out the whale of a console up north. That's a little bit of a pain in the ass to fly with. So I played with my Nintendo 3DS, and I found out that the Streets of Rage 2 game on there actually has a cool mode that they call like Rage mode, where you put the 4 characters and you get a 1, 2, 3, or 4. You sign them a number, and every time you die, a new character spawns in the order that you picked.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is cool. It like just mixes something up from a game that I played since I was a wee lad in the 90s. And I never knew that existed, even though I played it a couple times on this platform. But we did watch some movies while we were up there. We watched a Barbie movie as well as the Mario Brothers movie. Apparently I was the only one who liked both.
Both are great. Both are great. I like both of them.
I love the Barbie movie more. I thought Mario was cute, but it's definitely meant for kids. I am definitely putting a down payment on my Mojo Dojo Casa house. I hope the interest rates go down so I can afford it. And the sweater that he was wearing at the end that says "I'm Knuff" is I might look for that because it's definitely not for kids, and I knew it was going to be meta and fun, but I thought it would be kind of more like Lego Movie where there's some jokes for the adults. No, this is for adults.
Yeah,
and I can't like I don't know, like I guess it's kind of a new movie, so I don't really want to spoil too much. But like the ending, I was just kind of wild and has all these other crazy implications of like what the hell happened in this universe. And one thing I do appreciate about the movie is that when they do ask these questions, like, oh, is it like this or like that? They just say yes. Just run with it. Don't think too hard. Just enjoy and accept all this stuff that it's existing and happening right now. Plus, you know, shot in my backyard in Venice Beach, you know, so it's always fun seeing stuff shot in LA because I am the kind of person who's like, oh, I've been there. So
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Usually when I do that, it's on the
I haven't
news.
seen it yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see that too, man. I hate when I recognize the cross street. I'm like, oh shit, that's down the street. God damn it.
Oh, I know that crack house. I've seen that before.
Yes,
It's
very
even
much so.
funnier when a show says it's filmed in like when a show says it's Chicago, and then you look behind it and there's a Toronto City bus. Like,
Yeah,
like-
yeah, yep.
great job, guys. You didn't.
Who
cover
knew
up
that Toronto
the
looked like
Toronto
Manhattan?
on it.
Yeah, I know that,
Yeah.
that is stupid mistakes. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
My,
Dad. You and I were not having fun with the Who Do You Voodoo game, and just seeing how like it looked like LA. You know, it wasn't exactly, but it was very good. So that's definitely
think-
fellow West Coaster.
I think my favorite part, one of those is like an easily fixable mistake, is there's an episode of Supernatural that heavily features a bus because it like runs a person over, and you can see the Vancouver City bus line on the top of it,
Uh-huh.
but it's supposed to be for a town in Idaho.
Oh, Vancouver, Idaho. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's Supernatural is filmed in Vancouver, right? So
Austin Powers in The Spy Who Shagged Me had a great line. He's like, "Isn't it amazing how Britain looks nothing like Southern California?"
yeah.
Movie doesn't.
Yeah,
matter.
but that's what I've been watching and what I've been playing. Yeah, we already did the Streets of Rage, and the other one is God of War Valhalla, and we'll talk about that more later on. So I guess it's Delvin's turn. How was your Christmas, New Year's?
We're not doing this for the third. I done did this twice already this week.
Okay. So-
It's been. I did it on Shaq. I did it on PSVG.
Sure.
I'm not doing it here again. My week was fine. I got a lot of gifts. Ooh, my girlfriends have money. Yeah, that's
Well, I was just trying to say that I was a little jealous of the Dave Chappelle show.
That was cool.
Congrats, man, because he's one of my favorite comedians out there, and that whole nonsense of the phone, right? If I'm remembering correctly,
that is correct. Yeah, that happened.
Fuck people, man. Fucking idiots. They follow the rules. You know what I mean?
saw. It was crazy because I saw on the news. It made the news apparently, and they were like, Dave Chappelle ended show early because of the phone. Like that wasn't early. It was literally the end of the show that happened.
Right, but they're probably making headlines. Blah blah.
Yeah, they're just lying. That's not what happened. And it's
Sorry, it's the same way about his Netflix special. Like, I obviously am not gonna watch a comedian that doesn't want me to watch his stuff, so I don't. But I've seen the bit that he made in his most recent Netflix special, where he dogs on trans people for like the opening 15 minutes or whatnot, and then the rest of the comedy special happens after that. Yet all of the articles are about the first 15 minutes. Like,
Yeah, right.
it's
yeah,
just,
which
it's
is
just
which is weird because, like I said, when I saw the show, he didn't do any of those jokes. So
I know.
I thought I didn't watch his special because I felt like I already saw this. So what was the point of watching? So when I heard about there's a whole bunch of trans jokes in it, I'm like, is there? Like I saw his special. Like I didn't like. I was just at his show. He told literally no trans jokes.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm here. It was like, it was only at the beginning. Like, okay, so now the
Yeah,
news kinda-
it's like the opening like 10 to 15 minutes of his new special on Netflix. He's like dogging on trans people and makes a really inappropriate joke. Like I know that like again, I don't know if people know this. I think I've told it once before, but like Ricky Gervais has me blocked on Twitter because I told him to get a new fucking joke because at the time his past fucking like 50 replies to people on Twitter were I identify as an attack helicopter, which is just fucking stupid.
that is a
Yeah.
terrible
Oh.
joke.
Yeah.
So Ricky Gervais got mad at you because you told him his joke sucked.
I literally said, "Hey Ricky, get a new joke," and next thing I know, I was blocked. So
He's like,
Yes,
fuck this shit. How dare you? How
Yes,
dare
I
you?
wanted to Ricky Gervais again.
How dare you tell me I'm not funny?
Like,
But
sorry,
it's,
man.
it's one of the same people who like says like, oh, it's a joke, whatever. Like, and then they get all upset when they get critiqued. It's like, well,
Yeah,
Apparently-
it's also like you can make that joke, but when you make it 50 times in a row over 2 hours, on Twitter, that's not really funny.
You can
dude.
make
Like,
that joke, but the key to jokes is making them funny.
right.
Seems like comedians forget that. Gotta be
yeah.
funny.
But also, like the Dave Chappelle thing, it's like all the articles are about the trans joke, and then like one of his jokes is saying, "Yeah, you wouldn't want me in a woman's prison because I do this to women," and I'm like, "Hey, man, that's like a huge red flag. Maybe you shouldn't." Like, that's terrible.
When it comes to comedy, I'm always like this. You can make any joke you want to, as long as it's so funny, I forget that it's offensive.
Yeah,
And that's kind of universal. Like, if you can make a joke about any group of people, and the people who are part of that group forget that it's offensive, it's a good joke. If your joke is terrible, that's when people say, this ain't it. This is not cool. And I think that's how I kind of look at it when it comes to comedy.
And from my perspective, it's like not all comedy is meant for all people. And
I agree.
If you're not enjoying what's, speak with your eyeballs and speak with your wallet. I totally understand that certain people don't want to go see certain comedians because, they find their stuff offensive, stupid, or something else.
But then let me just throw in while we're on this comedy section. But then you have the comedians who don't like the audience they get, and they deliberately tell jokes to try and change that audience.
I had that happen. I had that happen in the
Y'all know who I'm talking about, right?
Who you talking about?
Well, I don't know, specifically.
I think Sturts knows who I'm talking about because of the reaction on his face.
Well, who?
Matt Rife.
I don't know what that is.
The comedian who blew up on TikTok because he looks like chiseled Squidward.
Oh, I need to see this dude. You like Squidward?
No. He looks like the Chad Squidward.
Handsome Squidward. The GOAT.
Yeah. Anyways, dude blew up on TikTok, had an audience mainly of women, gets a Netflix special, and his first fucking joke for like 10 minutes is about domestic violence and how essentially this woman wouldn't be bruised if she could actually cook in the kitchen.
Oh my God, he does look like handsome Squidward.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Yeah. Correct.
What was his name again? Mike?
Matt Rife.
Matt Rife.
Yeah. He also had an appearance on, I think it's called Wild and Out, where like he was touching Zendaya's face.
Oh. I don't like the way he looks. I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to judge on looks, but
yes, you can.
No.
Anyways, just to point out, this guy tried to change his audience because it was mostly women, and he wanted dudes as his audience. To the point that it got so bad he started beefing with a 6-year-old.
Well, 6-year-old probably had it coming to him.
No. The 6-year-old kicked Matt Rife's ass. Literally, the fucking Matt Rife was making astrology jokes, and the kid, I guess astrology was the kid's special interest, and the kid chimes in and gives the kid a bunch of gives Matt Rife a bunch of information, and Matt Rife responds, "Yeah, well, your mom's a whore, and Santa's not real."
Well,
so we have like the level of discord that we would get on a Call of Duty game on a Friday night.
Pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, but no, it's all outrage bait, and I don't understand it. And like,
look here. Look here.
Uh-huh.
We here at PSXP will not shame whores.
No.
No, not at all. You cannot come on our platform and shame whores.
I'm playing one on Baldur's Gate 3.
See? We are a pro horror podcast.
See, we are, but also, see, I'm being faithful to the one true Shadowheart.
Good for you. I'm whoring it up. But
there you go. Good job.
Both are acceptable. Both are acceptable.
Yes. We don't kink shame at PSPG.
No.
Hells no.
No. Especially whores. We love whores.
God damn.
Working hard, earning that paper.
Title of the episode: We love whores.
Putting in those extra hours,
Yeah.
I don't think iTunes will allow that as the title. By the way.
Well, we're gonna find out, baby.
No, we just got to get clever with the spelling.
All right, we got some stories to get to, a couple of news stories to get to. So let's get to it. Start off with this first one. So Snurts, I know you make big money in California. So, do you have $60,000?
Let me check. No.
Well, if you did, for a meager $60,000, you could possibly own a PlayStation A-Class Vibes Benz.
Whoa,
PlayStation
A-class?
Benz, baby.
I mean,
A-Class.
that sounds pretty high. What becomes before? I mean, what's higher than A? S? I don't know.
I don't think that's how alphabet works.
That's how it works. It's
S
A
tier,
and then F.
S tier. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. So
that's
what do I get with this lovely Mercedes Benz?
You get a Mercedes Benz that looks like a PlayStation, essentially. And it comes with a digital PS5 and Gran Turismo 7.
I'm sorry. Is this like promotion for GT7? What the fuck is this?
It's literally what it says. It's a Mercedes Benz that there's only 50 in existence. It's called the A-Class Vibes. It's the color of a PS5. It has like it's a cool looking car.
It is cool looking. I'll give them that. So I watched the 30-second promo video. That's part of the article.
And only $60,000.
Yes.
Well, I mean, for a Mercedes Benz, I mean, it's
Cheap for
not.
a Mercedes, but it's nothing compared to the. Sorry, I have to bring this up since we're talking about absurd prices for things. Fucking Yarden tweeted out a picture of a goddamn watch last night for $7 million.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not
you
bad.
mean the watch where you can't tell what time it is because it's so goddamn busy on the face? Yeah, I saw that,
Yeah.
Yarden. What is that fucking nonsense?
Garbage watch.
$6,800,000, and if you pay by credit card, there's a 3% charge, which is an extra $204,000.
That watch can suck a dick. Because there's no way in hell I'm buying that shit.
And Donnie, you beat me to the joke. I was just saying, like, basically, they took a regular PlayStation 5 and put 4 wheels on it and called it a car.
Pretty much.
You know, and,
Yeah.
Nice looking car.
It does look nice. It's just to me kind of like very gimmicky.
It is.
So in my previous advertisement job, we did have PlayStation as a client, and we were part of the Gran Turismo competition that they now have a movie about, where the driver of the game eventually became a professional race car driver themselves.
Yeah.
So this seems something along very similar, you know, tied to a game. Extra promotion, gets you an article, gets us, you know, creme de la creme of the video game world talking about it.
So it's your fault we had that awful ass movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we used to
Goddamn
have
snarks.
at the office the setup to compete, and I was just terrible at it, so I never even got close. But it was kind of cool on your lunch break to go and sit in a full, like, you know, chair with the pedals and the steering wheel and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, the whole reason we have that movie is because of the ad campaign that at the company that I used to work for created. And I do find it very hilarious where I'm sitting in the movie theaters for like Guardians 3 and this comes on and I'm like, really? Did this? I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. It looks
I
good.
haven't seen the Gran Turismo
Donnie says
movie.
Donnie said he liked it. Like, I'm sure it can
Donnie's
be
lying.
entertaining, but you know, it's just one of those things that, like, it's like Cocaine Bear. Like, we studied
Now that's a
Cocaine Bear
movie.
because it was part of an ad campaign too that we were looking into for local ads. So like, there's just some things that come around to you like later in life and you're like, oh, this thing, wow, okay, cool, I guess. So that's my
I haven't
cool
seen
little
Cocaine
story
Bear
about it.
either, and the funniest part is I have the option to watch it whenever I want. It's on Prime. I
There you
still
go.
haven't seen Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Well, we got what's the Mickey Mouse one coming out? I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Steamboat Mickey or what it's called. I can't wait for that.
So Steamboat Mickey should not be called Steamboat Mickey because Mickey Mouse is still fucking copyright. It's
Yeah.
Steamboat fucking Willie that's in the public domain now.
Yes, I gotta find the name of this movie.
Now I know what you're talking about, dude. It's very much in the guise of the Winnie the Pooh
And
movie, right?
yeah, the
Horror,
Winnie the Pooh
slasher
horror.
horror.
Yeah.
You know,
Or the
Mickey-
fucking
Mickey-
video game that's coming out, the fucking like Infestation 88 or something like that.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, it's Steamboat Willie, but a horror game.
Okay. Cool. So am I stabbing as Steamboat Willie, or am I
No,
being
you're
stabbed
running
by
from him.
Steamboat?
But all
Ah.
yeah, but also let me point out it was discovered this week that the Discord for that game has openly neo-Nazis as its moderators. So that's
Oh.
Huh.
Oh.
yeah.
Jeez.
So,
The movie's
Alright.
called Mickey's Mousetrap.
so how long before that movie gets canceled? Because Disney literally goes, "Hey, you are violating our copyright because Mickey Mouse is not public domain. Steamboat Willie is."
Yeah, I mean, Disney has plenty of lawyers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
One thing they got.
Oh, and also let me point out, according to the movie poster, he's wearing red pants.
That's gonna get
That's
flagged.
not public domain either.
Yeah, I think people are gonna try to fuck around and find out a bit, and I think this fad will kind of pass, and then maybe, like I was saying, like things kind of pop up. Maybe 2-3 years from now, someone will actually make something worthwhile.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Hmm.
Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was made for $100,000.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah,
It
and if-
made millions.
yeah,
They're
Yeah,
gonna keep doing
yeah,
this.
Yeah,
They're
of
gonna keep
course
doing
they
this.
are.
Alright.
Here's my favorite part though. Hey
I
Delvin,
didn't realize that
you
ROI
know-
was so high.
Yeah.
Sorry.
do you know when the copyright for Action Comics #1 expires?
I hope it's next week because I'm gonna make a Superman movie.
No. It's 2034, I think.
I'll be dead by then.
Well, like 10 years from now. But I keep seeing people be like, "Oh, they're gonna make some horrible evil Superman thing." I'm like, you mean like the past 8 years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I'm not entirely worried about.
We've
like,
already had the horrible evil Superman thing. It's called Batman versus Superman.
I was gonna say we've already had Brightburn. We don't
Yeah, we don't need any more. We're okay.
we don't need. I'm not worried about Superman in the public domain because how much worse can evil Superman be when there's like 9 different versions of it already?
Yes. All right.
Like, no, I don't understand the like fascination with. Oh, it's in the public domain now. Let's make a horror IP out of it. Like, okay,
It's a
Yeah,
quick way to
because-
make it's a quick way to make a buck, and horror movies are generally speaking inexpensive to make. Like I said, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey cost like $100,000 to make it, and the return on investment was insane. So that's why they usually go horror.
I mean, isn't that how Blumhouse is still around? Is like, you know, they come out with these movies that are a couple $100 to make, and they rake in
Make
enough
millions.
yeah,
Even if they're not really great, they usually make like $1 million. So all right, we
Sure.
can keep making them. That return on investment is high.
Yeah, I like Blumhouse stuff.
Yeah, they make good
yeah,
stuff.
it's fine. There's nothing wrong with making cheap movies that make a lot of money. Like, you know, as long as it's entertaining. I mean, one of my favorite dumbass movies is Sharknado, and
I mean, y'all know how much I praised Bit. I think that movie was made for like $90,000.
I still
Yeah.
have. Oh yeah, I did watch Bit. That was a good one. I was
Yeah.
thinking about the other one you told me about. That wasn't a low budget movie. What was it? I can't remember the name of it. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
No, but like, give me the premise and I'd be able to tell you the title.
Love and Monster, I think it was.
Yes, the one that you bought me because it didn't have a DVD release here.
Yes, I
Yeah.
still haven't watched it yet. All right, let's go on to our next topic.
oh yeah,
And Donnie's right; they are called exploitation flicks.
Fair enough.
All right, are either of you excited for a PS5 Pro?
Depends on what the PS5 Pro is gonna do.
depends if one
Spoilers.
of Delvin's girlfriends is going to buy me one.
I don't think my girlfriend's buy you a PS5 Pro.
Well, then yeah, I don't care.
Well, the rumors been going off that, you know, originally the rumor they're going to announce it like early 2024, but, you know, Tom Henderson came out saying that I'll read this quote. It seems like everyone is hyped that the PS5 Pro might be announced at CES. Personally, I'd be surprised if they were to announce a new console 9 to 10 months from release. So if that's the timeline they're going with, I'm more so inclined to believe a late Q3 announcement. So that's his guesstimation. So
Well, I mean that makes sense because the PS4 Pro was announced in September. September.
Yeah. So, are either of you excited for PS5 Pro? Do you think we need one or anything like that? I don't feel like we
It's-
need one.
It's a hard topic because we haven't even really had that many PS5, like first party wise. We haven't had that many PS5 only games. But
Yeah.
like, for example, something like Immortals of Avium, which good game, I'm still playing through. That game struggled sometimes just because of all the particle effects on screen because it's running Unreal Engine 5 and sometimes it stutters because of all the particle effects from the magic because there's no actual gunfire in that game. It is all about like particle effects with magic. Things like that could probably run better on it. But if the PS5 Pro is only going to target like graphical fidelity and not frame rate, I'm going to have an issue. Like, give me the frames.
You're going to have an issue.
I know, Nelson. I know.
You're definitely going to have an issue.
Yeah, I don't feel the need to upgrade after I just recently got my PS5 as it is, so I don't know if I'll be in the market to spend more money on a console for minimum updates. But if I was a PS4 holdout who was looking for something a little bit more beefy, the idea of a PS5 Pro may be more intriguing, and just kind of hold for now, and then when it drops, I can have like the latest, greatest, newest thing that'll last me even longer.
Yeah.
So I don't, these mid-cycle upgrades, they're not for me, but that doesn't mean there isn't a market for it, and that we can make improvements to the hardware or to what have you. So yeah, not for me, and I don't really care about when it's getting announced. Like it'll when it happens, we'll talk about it. And I would be shocked if they're not working on something like this, because wasn't the PS4 Pro successful?
That was pretty successful, yeah.
So PS4 Pro, I believe, has sold estimated numbers like 15 million units out of the total PS4 sold.
Okay,
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean that's millions a pretty big number. Then you add 14 more to it.
Yeah.
So again, I do think, because I was one of these people, and I eventually just I couldn't wait. I couldn't play God of War Ragnarok on the PS4. I was like, I need to play it on the good one. But yeah, if I didn't have a PlayStation 5 yet, I would definitely be thinking like, okay, maybe I just wait, till next year and get the beefier package.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like if I didn't have a PS5, I'd probably I could just wait for this one then.
Yeah.
But but as of right now, I don't have any interest in it. This feels to me like I know this might seem a little blasphemous, but it feels at least to me it feels like how I felt about the Switch OLED. I'm like, it'd be cool if I get one, but I'm not like rushing out to get a PS5 Pro.
Right.
It's like all right, I don't really feel like I need it. The OLED, I feel like the Switch needed the OLED more than we need a PS5 Pro because OLED Switch is kind of dope.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but yeah, this is kind of like, all right, I'm glad you're doing it, but this might not be for me.
Yeah. I'll be honest, a lot of PlayStation hardware is not for me.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel more and more like that now when it comes to certain things like PSVR 2.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
I have it, and I'm like, that thing.
Hey, casual reminder, we told you that they weren't going to support it, and then you went and bought it anyways.
Yeah. But I thought that I would be more interested in not necessarily the PlayStation exclusive games, but just playing it in general. And I'm like, I don't want to go through the process of playing it. I don't want to have to put the stupid thing on my head and have the wires and stuff like that. I feel like, why do that when I can just play my what is the other one I have? Can't remember the name. Oculus. Meta Quest, yeah, which is wireless. I can just put it on my head and it works.
Yeah.
And it's good enough. This is good enough.
Fair enough. But also, VR is a niche market, and I don't.
Even though like the Portal, I don't have any interest in the Portal. It's just not for me.
Casual reminder: Delvin has one, and according to him, it's just sitting on his shelf.
Well, that was a
Portal on the
gift.
shelf.
That was a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
So I'll get to that after I finish playing my Rogue Ally.
Again, with Delvin and his many mansions, he's going to need a portal so he can like get away
Yeah.
from Delvin Jr. When he is kicking ass and beating games way before Dad can ever get to him.
That's correct.
And Donnie, yes, I did say beefier package, and I am shocked that my fellow co-host did not pick that up or make some
dropped
kind
the
of
ball
old
on that
sexual
one.
joke. So
Yeah.
good for you for keeping us honest
Oh,
with our crude references.
So you dropped the ball, huh?
Yeah.
How'd handling that go?
Whoa, Haley.
Sussy.
So some guy just built their own Nintendo PlayStation system.
Moving right along.
We were right along with that one.
Okay. Yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah. Some gamer built a Nintendo PlayStation system using a PS1 and a Super Nintendo. That is pretty cool.
I mean,
So-
I didn't watch the full video, but I skimmed through it and I was blown away. People are so much smarter than me.
Yes.
When it comes to this tech stuff, like they're just like, oh, we could do this and glue here and slam it there, and I'm just like, wow, that's awesome. But then like the disc just kind of sitting upright and spinning. I
so
don't know
weird.
what it is. It's so weird. And
So
like,
let me give people the details of it.
yes, sorry.
So, a gamer builds a custom Nintendo PlayStation using an old Super Nintendo shell and PS1 hardware, which can play some Nintendo and PlayStation games. PlayStation, once a Nintendo in development hybrid console, went unreleased due to a partnership with Philips. The last known working prototype sold for $360,000. So, the custom fit console developed by James Channel required solving various problems such as fitting PS1 architecture in a Super Nintendo shell and placing a disc drive on top. That's what Snurf was talking about. Thing looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, so the disc sits upright and spins?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where if it's not secured properly, I get to see it going woo and off to the side. Yeah,
Flying out,
frisbee golf. Yeah,
cutting someone in the throat. And that's the end of their life.
Yeah, death
Death by
by
PlayStation.
Yeah,
By
So, like,
Nintendo
right-
PlayStation.
but it like I said, it fascinating. Just so cool what people are willing to put time and effort into. I don't think there's a market for this at all, but what a great little hobby and a neat little thing to look at. And I have to say, like, if I was buddies with this person, I would totally come over and play like PS1 games on this setup just to say I did.
Yeah.
And it's amazing too that you run into issues on the tech demo of like, the color wasn't coming in because of various reasons, but then he goes through a different route and then the color appears. So very, very impressed with the technical ability of this individual. And showing off such great games as Grand Theft Auto and Pepsi Man. I mean, how can you not love this?
Hey, casual reminder, Pepsi Man is a very funny game that people still try and speedrun to this day.
I bet.
Pepsi Man, legend. Any thoughts on this, Haley?
I mean, it's always fun to see people try and bring like concept devices to life, but like I don't really know beyond like having this as a collector's item. I don't really know why you would like. Hey, if this is what floats your boat to spend your time doing, great. But no, I don't really know why.
Yeah,
You know?
that's cool. It's cool, interesting, fun little thing to do, time killer thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's get to our main topic of the show. This is going to be a fun one because, as I told,
Before we get there, though, let me point out that Donnie said you should play Assassin's Creed VR. I do not think that you could handle that, Delvin.
whoa, what does that mean,
That-
Haley?
What does that mean? I mean, I don't know how you deal with motion sickness, and watching that game gave me motion sickness.
Look here, Haley.
I was not
The
playing.
last woman who told me I couldn't handle something fucked around and found out.
Oh snap! Here we go. Elvin's manhood has been questioned. Yes, I can. It's not in his vocabulary.
Exactly. Oh, why does this fits so well in the topic we're going to talk about. That's what makes it.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
sometimes the world just comes together in the most special and precious ways.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
as I told my two co-hosts, I have been talking literally about the games we're anticipating this year all week long. Did it on PSVG, did it on Shaq. I said, we're not doing that here on this podcast again. And if we are, we're going to flip it around this a little bit. So I gave them both a challenge, and it's simple. The games for 2024, you got to pick one game to marry, one game to kill, and one game to bang. F, marry, kill, PSXP edition, video games for 2024.
Uh-huh.
So now you know what you have to do. Who wants to go first? You got to give me your game. Well, I guess we'll go.
Hold on. We're gonna round robin this. We're gonna do it one at a time for each one because
Okay.
otherwise we'll go through the topic way too quick. What do we start with? Fuck, marry, or kill?
We fucking first, Haley.
Okay.
Maybe I should have said it like that.
Yeah. Tagline of the episode for the YouTube spot. For fans of
Okay. Who's going first?
phrasing.
Yeah. Just insert.
This is the worst episode of
Archer here. We're fucking first. Insert Archer here. Phrasing.
Sploosh.
Oh man. I
All right,
guess
let's go
Alright.
first.
All right, you guys are laughing so much. I'm just gonna start with fucking Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
all right.
Okay.
So why
Alright.
you pick Prince of Persia: Lost Crown to bang, Snurts?
Because I like the Prince of Persia of old, and if they can recapture that, and it looks like cel shaded as well, so that looks kind of fun. And it is on my radar for 2024. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up day one, but I am definitely interested in spending some time in the sheets with the Prince of Persia, and insert joke there.
There you go. All right. The first game I'll go next. Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. I was always intrigued with the concept of it. And unfortunately, due to the leak audio I heard of it, I'm like, oh, that it made me really more interested in the game. So I'm super excited to kind of try it. I don't think this would be a game I'd marry, of course. I just might one quick one night stand, bang it out in a weekend or so, see how it works out, get the full story of it, and just call it a day. Hit it and quit it.
Hold on. Let me just point out. You think you're gonna beat this game in a weekend? It's a Rocksteady game, even
Probably.
with the live aspect. You're not beating this in a weekend.
Probably.
You don't
I
have
love.
enough time to beat this in a weekend.
I make time for Rocksteady games. I love. I beat.
Let me point out, Batman Arkham Knight takes 30 hours to complete just the main story.
I want to say I finished that game in a week, like 2 weeks. I want to say.
Okay.
And I played a lot of Arkham Knight. I love that game.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
to Haley's
Arkham Knight-
point too, though, is like it's more than a couple of days, but we get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit it and
I-
quit
I
it.
do.
It might
I
just
do.
take a little
Hit it
bit
and
longer
quit it.
than 2 days to hit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I too am curious about that game.
I
But
mean,
I'm also not sure about the gameplay and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'm in for Suicide Squad. You know that. It's Kevin Conroy's last performance.
that's
That is
huge.
true.
That
That
is
is
huge.
huge.
I was always
Um,
going to be in.
yeah.
So I have not heard the leaked audio. Y'all know I have played the game.
Yes.
I'm excited to see. I gotta pick that up when I get paid on the 18th. It's not out until 2 weeks later, but you know that I always have it pre-downloaded and whatnot. But definitely excited for it. I do want to point out, Delvin, I'm not trying to spoil your fun, but it did come out after those leaks that some of the leaks that were mentioned are fake and were made
Okay.
up. Leaker. Obviously, audio that comes out from the game is not faked, but the context for it is presumably a little different.
Okay.
Than the leaker said. So just be wary of that going in. I know what audio you're talking about. I have not sought it out myself, though. I also know what it's referring to, but I don't think it's going to be what you think it is. All right, game that I and fucking if it actually comes out, because it is slated for the summer this year, Lollipop Chainsaw Repop.
Okay, that's a great
Okay.
one.
I love the original. I'm very excited for the remake, and I say fuck because the original wasn't a very long game. It was like 10 hours. So you can beat it in like that. You could probably beat in a weekend, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's a
Um,
weekend for sure.
Yeah. Great game. Very excited to play that.
It looks fun. It looks. I haven't played the original, but the concepts of everything and the tongue in cheek humor looks something that I would enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which way I want to go next? I want to go
We doing
Mary.
snake
I want to
draft?
go Kill.
Let's do kill because I want to. I know I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's end
Probably
on a
not.
let's end on a positive note as well. Um,
Okay. I had who you going first, Nerds?
If we're keeping the same order, we can do that, or we could do a snake draft, whatever you want.
You know what? I'll go first then, because I have my
Okay.
kill already lined up.
All right.
Okay.
And it's may shock people, but if people know it, they know I don't. This is not gonna shock no one at all. Skull and Bones. Killing the shot of that. I have been hearing about this game for so long. I thought this game was already out. I have no interest in this game. I'm sick of hearing about this game. I just want it to come out and go away. I have no interest whatsoever. So much to the point, if it's free on Game Pass, I most likely will not play it. Doesn't interest me at all. We have Skull and Crossbones at home. Skull and Bones, I'm done with it. Don't care about it whatsoever. It can go away. I wouldn't miss it. I thought it was already out. That's how much I don't care about this game.
Doesn't this come out the same weekend as Suicide Squad?
So I'm definitely not playing it. Yeah, I think so.
I think it comes out the 2nd of February, doesn't it? Which is like the same day Suicide Squad comes out.
Now,
Not playing.
If memory serves me correctly, this is the game that takes the boat section of Assassin's Creed Black
Black
Flag,
Flag,
and
yeah.
then makes a full game out of it. Basically.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. And it's done by the same
Uh,
developer, I see. So, all right. Yeah, I
Um,
love, but I'm. This is not on my radar at all.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Skull and Bones comes out on the 13th of February. Ooh.
Valentine's
Day
Day
before
special.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, honey. I got to be a booty lover.
All right. So I assume I'm going next.
Sure.
be our guest.
Okay. My kill game is Stalker 2 or whatever
Whoa,
game they're working on.
that's a bold choice.
It is, and
I like
it's because anybody who knows me knows that that's not my style of game. I'm not really a fan of like I wasn't a fan of the original Stalker, right? So I'm just not. Doesn't interest me. Like I'm excited for y'all who are excited for the game. Obviously, the studio's been through tremendous hardship, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Going with-
Ukrainian developer, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh boy.
but
Yeah.
it's just not for me. And I'm not going to use the same answer because I could also say Skull and Bones. I got no fucking interest in that. But this
None.
way, there's a different answer. Definitely not into it. Right, like Xbox has other stuff coming out this year that I'm excited for, but that's just not one of them. So
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Your
So I
turn.
guess it's off to me,
That is correct.
and so I'm going with Kill Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because
What?
I've never played a Final Fantasy game. I have
You
no
son
interest
of a
in playing a
bitch.
Final Fantasy game, and I
Well-
wanted to just piss some people off.
Well, this is going to be
and-
Snurch's last episode. We
Well, bye,
appreciate
everybody.
the
Bye-bye.
rise.
no. You say that like I haven't dogged on Final Fantasy for fucking years on this
Yeah,
podcast.
okay,
If
you're
that
right.
were
Seven.
true, we wouldn't be here.
7 isn't the one you dog on, though.
That's what that's what I was gonna say. I know 7 was like dear to so many people's hearts, but like
My
Yeah.
heart, Snurts. It's
Okay,
the one
take
I
it
love.
you can take
Delvin,
your
you
sword,
also
with
say
your,
this-
giant spiky hair dude, and just have all the fun you want. But I'm laying that sucker in the grave, and
God
I'm not
damn
even
it.
gonna think twice about it.
God damn it.
I mean, again, Delvin says this like he knows that I have tried to play that game twice and failed twice.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I'm also
because
not
it
into
doesn't
turn-based
have a woman
combat. I don't
protagonist.
care.
But no, I play plenty of games without women protagonists, dude. It's not even that. It's just that the story doesn't interest me.
This is hurting my heart. This is. I feel like
Take
What?
some fish oil, buddy. You'll be fine.
what's the kid name? I keep forgetting his name from The Simpsons. When he gives Lisa the Valentine.
No,
I
I choo 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 choo. That's Ralph Wiggum. Yeah.
I feel like Ralph Wiggum when Lisa broke his heart. Just
Yeah.
Oh,
When Bart Simpson's like, you
what
can tell
about-
the exact moment that his heart breaks if you pause it.
yes.
yeah. What about the? Why would you use the choose you and not the Chuckles? I'm in danger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Because-
the same kid.
Tastes
Yeah,
like
because
poison.
I choose you with just the greatest card.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
buy that
Fair-
for a girl.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, no.
Apparently, Donnie is loving what I just said because
Because Donnie's a
Donnie-
monster.
Donnie loves to hate on Final Fantasy. Like you just earned
Oh.
yourself like a huge reprieve with Donnie. Like
Sweet. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. This is
uh,
great because I both upset Delvin and impressed Donnie, and then got accolades from
Yeah.
Haley. So you know what? I think I picked a winner.
No, you did not.
All right. What's your merry game there, Snurts?
Rise of Ronin. Because I like Team Ninja games and they challenge me. I have take many moons to beat those.
Can I
and it's
change my
because
kill
I'm
game now?
trying Rise of Ronin. That's fine. I got no.
Just
whatever.
be petty.
Yeah, you can be petty. Have fun with it, man. You get you and the Heartbreakers out there. It'll be fun. Anyway, but yeah, Rise of Ronin looks fun. I've been a Team Ninja fan for a while. I really played the hell out of Ninja Gaiden on the original Xbox and the second one, and I picked up the. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly, but it's NIOH.
Oh.
Neo.
Neo.
Okay, so like the Matrix. Gotcha. And I really enjoyed Neo 1. I still haven't gotten into Neo 2 because the first one was so tough, and took so long for me to beat with many kill screens. So you know that's why I picked this one for Mary. I love Japanese culture, and if we're doing more samurais and ninja stuff with one of the best developers in that game, I'm all for it.
It's a good choice.
All right, Delvin, you.
This is just disappointing.
It's going to be Final Fantasy.
It was Final Fantasy. That's why I was so annoyed by this. It was goddamn Final Fantasy. That was the one.
I'm so proud of myself. I'm going to call mom and be like, Mom, guess what I did?
That was the one. It just like killed the whole momentum of it. It's just like that was, oh man. I guess it's a
This is
Oh,
a good
you
game. Good job with this.
yes, it is.
This very
This is a
good.
good game. All right, Haley, it's on you now, I guess.
Provided it. This is another one where provided it actually comes out this year. Assassin's Creed Red.
Oh, okay.
Is that the Russian one? Oh, no,
No.
China,
Red.
right?
Nope. It's Japan.
Oh,
Uh,
Japan. Okay.
I was thinking the same thing, Delvin. I was like, oh, Kami, here we go.
I thought the same
There-
thing too.
Hey, we already have. Anyways, it's the next Assassin's Creed RPG title. It's slated to come out
Okay.
this year.
I have to look this
I'm
up now.
Very excited for it.
That sounds like a great setting. I mean, for Assassin's Creed, why not?
It does.
Yep. It's one that everyone's wanted for years. My main concern is it's probably going to get compared to Ghost of Tsushima a lot.
Of course it
but-
will. Yeah,
Yeah, but-
how can it not?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it because I really love the Assassin's Creed RPG games, and I find it hard to go back to the old ones now.
So I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a while. Have they increased the fluidity of the combat?
Well,
and
what's the
terrain?
last one you played? What's the
Black
last one you
Flag.
played?
Black Flag.
Okay,
Yes.
so starting with Origins, the combat is essentially it's no longer like one enemy will attack you at once. Multiple enemies will attack you at the same time.
Okay.
And besides besides Mirage, because Mirage is specifically designed like the old style, where like you
Correct.
really cannot
Correct.
handle more than one enemy at a time. You can handle more than one enemy at a time
Interesting.
in Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla.
Yeah.
If-
As much as I enjoyed Black Flag, there was very much like I'm waiting to counter, kill, waiting to counter, kill. You know.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't such a big fan of pirates, like I don't think I would have made it through all the way. And I tried to replay it recently, and I was like, "This is so stiff." And then I did something where like I wanted to jump, but then I ended up grabbing a rope or something, and I was just like, "Okay, I'm tired." But it's been a while, so
starting with Origins, you can climb anything now. You can climb anything. Cool. Like there's no like, hey, you can only climb this ledge or that ledge. If you are going to play one of the RPG titles, I would recommend Odyssey or Valhalla. Pick one or the other. Do not go with Origins, only because Origins is a great story, but I find people, because of the way that story starts with Origins, I find people have trouble sticking with it because it's very disjointed in the beginning. Bayek is a great character, but his story is so disjointed that it doesn't really start until like the 4th chapter. Okay. Before that, it's like all flashbacks. Whereas the story of like Cassandra, or if you choose to play as Alexios, is really good, as is the story of Ivor and their connection with the mythology side of it as well.
I've heard some spoilers about that game.
Well, I'm not spoiling it for others, so
I know I'm not either. Well, cool. Like maybe that's something I look into, because I do. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was one of my favorite games, and I picked Ronin obviously as a marriage thing. So I'll keep that on my purview and see what we got coming down the line. Maybe it's time to dive back into Assassin's Creed.
There you go. All right. We got a bunch of questions, so let's get right to them.
So many questions.
All right, let's get to the first one from Eddie V. Eddie V asks, is it time for Sony to step their game up and come up with 4 to 5 stellar first-party games that really showcase why you should own a PS5? If they don't, will Nintendo and Microsoft destroy them and player community talk that stays consistent? To release this year, to be clear.
Okay. So this is a multi-part question.
Yes,
Let me just, the first part of it, is it time for Sony to announce 4 to 5 first-party games that come out this year? That's not happening. Like that. That's not how game development works. That's a tough one. Like 4 to 5 first-party titles this year.
That's a lot to ask.
It is a lot. Now, I'm going to point out Xbox may have that this year, but Xbox has also been like, they've had that like slow like release cadence for a while, where dev teams have just been working on their projects until they're ready, and then they'll come out, right? So you're going to slowly start to see Xbox's release cadence come up. Well, see, that's the thing, Donnie. I wouldn't count The Last of Us 2 remaster. I'm excited to play it again. It's only $10 if you own the PS4 version, right? But I wouldn't count that because it's a game that came out in 2019. It's really just a re-release because of the HBO show. Like that, and obviously a PC port is going to come down the line, right? But this is more or less just instead of explaining to the average person who watches the HBO show and wants to play the game, how backwards compatibility works. It just goes, you can just pick up a PS5 and play it right there. Instead of having to explain backwards compatibility to people. Helldivers, yes, that's coming. Technically, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not first party, it's second party.
Correct.
It's an exclusive, but it's second party. Because of the way Sony like does their partnerships now, third party and second party are a little iffy. We might hear from Bend this year, but again, I don't think, as Delvin said, I don't think that title would come out until 2025.
Let me ask you guys a question, because I think this is because I'm reading into this question something. Maybe I'm reading too much into this question, but the question says stellar first party games that showcase why you should own a PS5. So I'm assuming, based off of that, PS5 exclusive games that are not like on PS4 as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to wonder. Like, have there really been that many games that are just only exclusive to PS5 that just can highlight and showcase why you should own a PS5? Okay, Returnal
I'm having a
is
hard
one.
time thinking of any really.
So Returnal is exclusive to the PS5. Spider-Man 2 is exclusive to the PS5.
Ratchet and Clank.
Exclusive to it's exclusive to the PS5, but you can also get it on PC
Yes.
now.
Yeah, so I have a question. Did we have 4 or 5 first party games this year or 2023? I mean, last year was amazing for games, and what do we have? Like 3 that are God of War Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2.
Ragnarok came out in 2022. It came out at the end of it.
Oh, it did? Okay, yeah. See, yeah, my calendars are always off. But yeah, I think that's a lot. I imagine we get about 3-ish games that are first party a year.
That's usually what we get, yeah.
And I'm curious, like, what do you mean by like show off the PS5 as well? Because it's like, well, the graphics are better. Like, look at all these particle things
that only the PS5 itself can do. That you can't make like a PS4 version of. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I do think that's a tall order. But I also don't know Nintendo and Microsoft destroying them in player community. I don't see that happening. It seems like it's a very healthy market with plenty of bandwidth to support all 3 of the consoles. And some games consoles have a stronger year than others, and then it can kind of like switch back and forth. Which I'm actually, if I owned multiple consoles, that's what I would want. I don't want everything coming out at once. And I do think the idea of some kind of console wars or everyone's out to get each other with whatever slate of games they have coming out for the year is just like it's a way to make press and have conversation, but I don't think it's legit for when it comes down to the business and people making money and releasing the games.
Yeah. So like as Donnie in the chat and Delvin just posted it for the video watchers, Donnie's comment of like Twisted Metal, there is that rumor going around, but I don't know that if they do that, it might be one of their live service attempt games, so it might still release on PS4 because they're gonna want that player base. Ghost 2, that's almost definitely a PS5 exclusive. Astrobot, the current one is PS5 exclusive. It's a tech demo on the PS5. Astrobot is very good. I don't know if we're gonna get another Astrobot. We have a question from Donnie later that we'll get to about some other stuff, but like I don't know. The problem is that this generation started weird because of COVID, and it's still like we're still kind of having that like a lot of stuff got delayed because of it, and now we're starting to see a little bit of that delays, like final push and move in. We're slowly getting to a point where like game releases are probably going to normalize. I don't know if 2024 is going to be as packed with game releases as 2023 was, but that remains to be seen. A lot of stuff for this year is still unannounced, right? But like, I don't know. As for Yeah, Donnie, that makes sense. Final Fantasy could be all they need this year, but Stellar Blade is also supposed to come out. That's second party, right? That's that game with, as Delvin says, I woke up, I saw ass.
Fact.
I don't know. Like they could survive off of just second party games this year.
I agree.
I don't know that they will. But it remains to be seen. As for will the market talk about Nintendo and Xbox, that always happens more because no matter who's running Sony's always been a company that's like quiet. They don't talk all the time. Like you don't have Jim Ryan going on every news program in the country. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing that like Phil and other, I don't know anybody from Nintendo, but I know Phil from Xbox does this all the time where like they'll go do interviews all the time. But like PlayStation's never been that company. They're always quiet until they're ready to announce something, and then they just go and be quiet again. And you're right. It does upset a lot of their fans, but that's how it's always been. So,
Yeah,
the PlayStation stuff.
the thing that made me fascinated about this question, like we were trying, I think we did a good job of trying to parse it out, was the first party section. Because
Yeah.
when I was looking stuff up, I was like, oh yeah, like there's all these games coming out that I'm going to be interested, but it is multi-platform stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, Donnie, the PlayStation Stars program is very good. Like I've gotten a bunch of like PlayStation rewards points from it, right? Like any subscriptions you have on the console, they contribute to it. Any game purchases you make on the console, they contribute to it. It's like but they don't advertise it. Like you see it in the PlayStation Store on the PS5, but you can't actually join the program on your PS5. You can only join it through your phone or a computer, and you can't access the actual rewards program on the console. The LeBron console was a weird decision. We know that we've answered that one before. They make weird decisions with who they get to promote, but like it's all
and LeBron's no stranger to promotions and marketing.
Yeah.
exactly.
He's had partnerships with Kia and the K900 and other various products. So, the guy's doing his thing.
Yeah. All right. Our next question is from Todd Ostra. He asks, did the live service and VR focus derail PlayStation's development cycle on their regular game releases? It feels like PlayStation's first-party output is slowing. And should we be worried when we have no release dates for 2024 yet? So, I'll let you go first, Nerds.
I think this plays into the question that we were just tackling, because it again is focusing on first-party output, and it may be slow, maybe for the reasons that Haley mentioned too, where we're trying to get more back into a regular development and release cycle. I'm not concerned at all. As I mentioned prior to the recording, I'm still playing the games that have already been out. Like I have a backlog with the Cyberpunk DLC, as well as finishing up God of War Valhalla. There are plenty of things for me to work on, and Baldur's Gate 3, like you all mentioned it in another podcast, but can you really finish Baldur's Gate 3? There's a lot of content there. So personally, I'm not too concerned about the 2024 lineup, and I also believe that as we get major press events where they are showcasing what's coming in, and they have a better idea of what's actually coming out instead of a TBD, then I think people who are concerned about this will have their fears alleviated.
All right.
Yeah.
You up, Haley?
So, as Snurf says, this does kind of touch on the last question. Should we be worried about PlayStation's release schedule slowing? No, not really, because when you think about it, we just had multiple teams release games, and they're now in the stage of like working on others. Like Horizon Forbidden West came out in 2022, and then DLC came out for it in August, right? So they're probably working on Horizon 3. Like we know from the ending of both the mainline game of Horizon Forbidden West and the DLC for Forbidden West that obviously there's a third Horizon coming. That's no surprise. God of War just came out, and obviously they just released DLC. But it's a matter of like, if it slows down, it's because teams are being given the time they need. Do I think the live service push affected that development cycle? No, because again, if a team didn't want to do it, based on Naughty Dog's recent post, it doesn't seem like they had to.
That's correct.
It seems like Naughty Dog was given the full benefit to be like, hey, we don't want to be a live service only studio. So as much as I wanted factions, and that's no longer coming, Naughty Dog was like, hey, we would rather just keep creating single player games, and we don't have the bandwidth to do that and support a live service title. So that is what has happened there. And I don't know about any of their studios, but we know that like 6 of their live service titles have been delayed. They want to put out 12 of them. I still think that's a weird number. But keep in mind, live service doesn't always mean like Call of Duty level. Like Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and Valhalla are live service titles, and they're mainly single player. The live service aspect of those is weekly quests they give you that give you like an in-game currency to buy premium items. Like, So we'll see what that live service means when it comes to Sony, but it doesn't always mean Destiny.
Yeah, that is true.
And even if they say they want to focus on live service and VR, that doesn't mean that they have the what do you call it, blinders on, and that's all they're looking at. You know, that they come out with a press and they say like, oh, we want to focus on this because we think it'll generate buzz and maybe make us money down the line because of consistent playing, especially on the live service end. So you know, and we'll see what happens here in the future. But I don't know if there is a Lord PlayStation going around saying like, we just only do live service and VR focus, and we're gonna just ignore everything else that we have in development besides. I don't think that's going to be the case. And you know, hopefully, like I said before, like when we get something down the line, then people have a little bit more faith in the 2024 PlayStation lineup.
I agree. I agree with what both of you guys said. I think it's PlayStation does this thing where they have second party kind of like help their lineup feel a little bit more bulkier, and I think they're doing the same thing this year. You got Final Fantasy VII coming out, which is going to help kind of quell people saying, "Oh, we don't have any first party games." So it always feels like we have something. So that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, I don't think we are in a drought of content. I
don't think so either.
There's tons of stuff out there. We've had a banner year just end. You know, give it time, folks. Give it time.
I agree. Also, hi.
Yeah, hi, Arch Lettuce.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
All right. We have another question. We have several questions. Let's get to the third one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, move right along.
All right. The next question is from Real Matt 0626. He asks, should there be a Ghost of Tsushima 2? He said, I personally do not think so, despite how successful the first one was. I don't know how much they could flush out that story.
Okay, so
I think
okay, cool. Gonna ignore that comment. That's great.
Yeah.
Yep. So
anyway, back to the question.
Anyways, back to the question. The question is that how could you flesh out Ghost of Tsushima? Okay. So I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let's just ignore it.
Yeah, we got to troll everybody. Trolls happen. So
yep.
Anyways,
the answer is there was a second invasion of Tsushima, so they could use that. We'll see how they flesh out the story, but
oh wow, okay. we got really taken over. What the hell happened, Donnie? We got to shut this down. What the fuck?
Yeah, I got nothing. So
yeah, so Ghost of Tsushima 2 for me, I would prefer to do.
What is happening?
Just ignore it.
Yeah, we just got to ignore the chat.
Okay.
Something happened and whatever. It doesn't affect the show. So let's not let it affect the show.
Exactly.
So Ghost of Tsushima 2, I would like to see them do something that's not set in Japan. I keep the same kind of gameplay concept going, pick a different section of the world, and then go with that. Is because I think, as we've been kind of discussing throughout this episode, that it seems to be a lot of games coming out that are set in old Japan. So maybe the way that they can mix it up and get some hype going for the new game is just switching up locations. So I don't, other than that, like, yeah, I don't really know. Like, I don't even know what that developer is working on. So yeah, we'll see. But I think it does have a good point about just, the first game did have such an amazing story that was very tight. And, what do you do beyond that to make it a more successful franchise versus a one-off game?
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. We'll see how they take it.
Yep. And all you guys in the fucking chat room just go fuck off. You fucking bunch of hating assholes. So anyway, What do you think, Delvin?
I think there's a lot they could do with the universe in it. It's a great. I think what Matt was saying is that they basically kind of ended the story on a finality, but I think there's so many different ways they can kind of go with the story and stuff like that to kind of build on the universe and stuff like that. It's a great universe, a great game. I like to see more go on, and they build on it a lot more than they have, you know.
Yeah. Yep. I find too that if I just go to private and ignore the stream, Haley, hopefully it'll be a little better.
Oh, I just closed it entirely.
There
so.
you go. Yeah, fuck all that shit.
Yeah, fuck.
All right.
I don't know where the fuck they all came from, but they're not bothering me. I'm just like, y'all think this is funny?
Yeah.
So
kind of corny.
Bunch of fucking losers with nothing better to do.
Yep.
Let's move on because
Yep.
we're about positivity. We're gonna have fun in the draw show. So
Exactly.
our next question from Hopper24.
Oh, this guy.
Yes, have you noticed all the amounts of people turning on Spider-Man 2 since the Game Awards? And he also asks, when am I coming on to defend Sonic's honor? Sir, you'll never come on to defend Sonic's honor. Fuck that hedgehog.
I was wondering if the hate was going to still come through. But I sure, fuck the hedgehog. I don't really believe that, but I'll jump on the bandwagon. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I have noticed some people kind of getting upset that Spider-Man 2 didn't win more at the Game Awards, and I don't
people are
really
mad.
care. It doesn't affect how I enjoy the game whatsoever. It's to me still a fantastic experience, but when you're comparing something like Spider-Man 2, which is a sequel with very only a few updates here and there, versus something as large and as expansive and interactive as Baldur's Gate 3, it's kind of a hard sell for me to feel sad for a very successful game that did very well, but didn't win a shiny trophy.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's opinions. You know, Game Awards is opinions. Is one person's or one group of people's views on a game, and if they didn't vote for the game to be the game of the year, stuff like that, in the day, who cares? The team who made Spider-Man made a fantastic game, and people love it, people enjoy it, and I'm quite sure there's going to be many awards that game's probably going to get before time is up. Because we still have, isn't there another gaming award show coming up soon? I think
Yeah,
DICE
the DICE Awards. DICE usually happens in February. So
yeah, so we got but time.
So the turning point isn't really that people are turning on Spider-Man. It's more or less that Spider-Man was up against a boatload of games that just did really well this year. There wasn't much they could do. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a great year of games. That kind of just shows how amazing the year was when you have all those great games coming up. And Spider-Man, which was a great game in itself, didn't get game of the year because it was just a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and it is something too where just because a game again doesn't win doesn't mean it's not a good game. A movie doesn't win an Oscar doesn't mean I'm not going to watch that movie anymore. And all of a sudden, because it didn't win, I suddenly hate it. So I don't really understand where that's coming from. And part of me wonders if people are is that what they want from their games? I have to buy this game so it becomes game of the year. Blah 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 blah. That's I don't know. I don't get it, but I don't get a lot of people, so that's fun. And that kind of ties into Crystal's question from Director Storm. What are your thoughts on people whining that BG3 didn't deserve to win over Spider-Man 2? I feel like we touched on many of those points. Or Haley and Delvin, do you guys have anything to add to the Spider-Man 2 BG3 controversy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's all I really only saw one guy freaking out about it. Just straight up in there
it's a great year
screaming about Spider-Man not winning. But that guy later went on to play Baldur's Gate 3 on his own, and he apologized for that. I don't know, man. The Game Awards is what always happened. Stuff just Stuff wins and stuff doesn't. Spider-Man was a good game, but I don't know. I'm Baldur's Gate 1, so I don't know what you want to happen there.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was just a great year in gaming, and you know,
Yeah.
it just happens. Shit just happens.
And then the what improvements would we want to see to the Game Awards make this year? I personally would like to see more of an award show and less of an advertisement.
I agree. It could do
that's-
better with that.
Yeah, I just have your showcases for the new games coming up. Have the award show. Also, let developers talk. Let them have their moment. Let them go on and on and on. And don't be so quick playing that wrap it up music.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was really weird. Very strange. So yeah, that's what I would do for those.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. What else we got? We got a couple more left. We got from Mr. Pastor Lucas Hamswisser. As inspired by Disney Speedstorm, name your top 3 Disney animated film soundtracks, and if they don't have a video game, pick one and design it right now. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Oh, cool. Do you have anything off the top of your head, Delvin or Haley, for this one?
Aladdin. I love Aladdin
Aladdin.
soundtrack.
Yeah, that was one of my go-tos for sure. It was also a good video game back in the day on the Sega Genesis and SNES.
I agree.
SNES. Let's see. Yeah, top 3 animated soundtracks. I mean, I'm a '90s kid, so when I was growing up, it was like Aladdin, Lion King, probably Beauty and the Beast. Very boring answers that shows just how old I am. And would I want any of those to be a video game? Well, they already did the Lion King and Aladdin, and if they made a Beauty and the Beast video game, I think it would be awful because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that game would install. Like learning how to dance as the Beast, learning how to, not tear everything up because you're a wild man who's upset by a curse because you're an asshole to some lady who came to your door. But that's a fun question. I don't know. Frozen isn't necessarily my favorite soundtrack, but with Elsa's ice powers, that seems to lend itself to a fun video game. So that could be a potential option. What about you? What about you, Haley? You're a Disney girl at all? You got your favorite Disney animated soundtracks?
Not really a Disney person. I mean, Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars, but
we're talking about Disney animation. We're not talking about their properties that they.
Lucas knows this, and his questions lately have all been Disney related. So I don't really have much.
Lucas is going to find the one Disney thing. We're like, there has to be something. Come on, Jungle Book. Like all you need are the bare necessities. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, there's just a lot of good Disney games out there and good Disney soundtracks. I think of Lion King, Jungle Book.
Jungle Book's great.
Toy Story, if you want to count the Pixar stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Toy Story is the greatest soundtrack though, right? I mean, it's a great movie, but I don't know about that soundtrack.
You Got a Friend in Me, I think people talk about
still
sing to this day. That's the one. I like Mulan personally. Mulan's.
Oh sure, yeah, Mulan's fun.
I've seen that one.
That's a great one.
There we go.
I'm trying to think of anything else.
I mean, I even like that Topsy Turvy song that opens up with the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but then that movie just kind of takes a shit.
Well, I mean, it is kind of sort of based on like a real story.
Right. On a real story that involves like terrible things and people being burned at the stake.
I never liked that movie.
I don't like the movie. I just like that opening song. Topsy Turvy it's catchy, and it has high energy, which can be fun.
All right, cool. Let's do one more question, and then we'll get out of here. So, our final question for the day is from Eat the Hype. What are you hoping from PlayStation in 2024? Do you think we'll see another Astro make an appearance? Any hope for a new Little Big Planet or a carton game? So what are both of you looking forward to seeing PlayStation do this year?
First of all, we're gonna find out who the new CEO is, because Jim Ryan stepped down, so we don't know who that's gonna be. We see Little Big Planet or Astro? I don't know this year. I mean, I'd love another Astro game. Astro's pretty fun. I don't know. Little Big Planet, I think, is kind of like, I think that's it. I think it's over, unfortunately. I don't really think Sackboy's Big Adventure sold well, and I don't know if it will come back. It'd be nice to see it come back, but like most of Sony's old stuff, it just doesn't sit well in this day and age. So
Yeah, and then platforming, we discussed this on the last episode, isn't necessarily like Sony's bread and butter. So I don't know how much about that. Karting game, I mean, I do like my Mario Kart from time to time, but I've not had the same kind of joyful experiences with, basically similar games with different IP attached to it. So yeah, I mean, what am I looking forward in 2024 is pretty much what we've been talking about before. Like that Ronin game sounds fun. I'm also excited about the Sega Genesis announcements as well that Dev brought up as well, like the Golden Axe and the Streets of Rage. Those are enticing to me, but I have no idea if those are coming out this year. They might not be coming out until next year.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of cool things they could do. We're just still waiting to see, kind of in that like stalling period. Well, I feel like by the time, I know there's no E3 now, by the time E3 comes around, we'll probably get a clear picture of what we're gonna get for the future of PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's end this show because I'm getting pissed off.
Yep, very much so.
I closed it. I'm just ignoring it. So
yeah. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Let me be the first to say, and I'm going to continue to say this every time we do a podcast like this. Fuck all you racist piece of shits who want to come on our platform and do what you just did.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them in the ear. I don't fucking hate that shit.
If you build your platform on hate, we at PSVG and PSXP don't want your punk ass here. Fuck off. We don't need you. We don't want you here. We appreciate you, Haley. We love you. You should never deal with no bullshit like this. And we're sorry that there's awful people in this fucking planet. And
yeah,
I mean, all burn in hell for the stupid shit they pulled today.
If they think this is going to deter me, they're wrong. I mean, let me just point out, these chuckle fucks tried to harass me on Discord too, but Discord has excellent moderation abilities, so just y'all can try all you like. You're not bothering me. But literally, fuck off. We don't need you here. We don't want you here. And whoever sent you can get fucked.
Yes.
100%.
We built ourselves on being inclusive and involving everyone, and I take great pride in what we as PSVG have done. For people like you who come in here and do the things you do, we don't need you. Fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Peace out, bitches.